Rick, I know one of the big pieces of news last week or this past week was Jaron Ennis signing with Eddie Hearn. What do you make of Jaron Ennis signing with Eddie Hearn, and just what do you think his potential is with Eddie Hearn now?
Well, at least he's going to know when he's fighting, and he's going to get his, 3 fights a year in and know when he's fighting and everything else, and not like he was getting treated like a jack off at PBC, and one Showtime went off the air. They've jacked him off since Showtime went off the air. It was supposed to be on in September. I mean, it's showing December 16th wasn't on. He was supposed to be on the undercard of Canelo and Charlo, yeah. Then it's the 16th, and then this card, the other, the Zoo. Then they was going to be fighting on this other card coming up. The Canelo, no. The next one, no. I mean, they didn't know when they were fighting. They were getting jacked. But there's no money at PBC. They're broke. They got no money to pay the guy.
I hear you. You mentioned PBC being broke. I know a lot of people would say that, how could they be broke when they just put on this card with Tim Tszyu and Fundura, and it was this great event, and now they got Canelo.
Well, broke doesn't mean they don't have any money. Okay, but they don't have the money to sign up, have the luxury of signing. When was the last time they signed a good fighter? Don't tell me Canelo.
I was going to say Canelo.
No. Canelo, anybody can sign Canelo. That doesn't take any talent.
Demetrius Andrade.
Okay, nobody wanted him.
He's a good fighter. I'll answer your question. You said a good fighter.
Nobody wanted him.
As far as a young fighter, you're saying, like young guy?
Nobody's signing with PBC. Game's over. Everybody knows it. The whole business knows it.
Okay, look, I hear you. Do you think now with Jaron Ennis signing with Eddie Hearn that the Crawford fight actually is more a possibility? Like Eddie would be willing to put the money to make that fight happen?
What fight?
Jaron Ennis versus Terence Crawford.
That fight is not happening.
Because the argument from Bud was always he doesn't bring no money to the table. He's not.
He still doesn't bring any money to the table.
But if Eddie's willing to put the money up, Eddie's overpaid plenty of
guys. Eddie's not putting up the kind of money Terence Crawford wants. Okay, that Terence Crawford can make with other fighters. Mm-hmm. Believe me, I've been through this with multiple people in the business, and they all agree with me.
Okay, fair enough.
Eddie's not in business to lose money.
No, but he has though. He spent a lot of money on the guys
right,
like Garcia.
But that was then. This is now.
Okay.
He's learned a lot about American boxing. He just thought because he's Eddie Hearn, he'll just put on a show and the people will buy it on pay-per-view and come out and buy tickets. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
he got disillusioned that he thought he was doing real good when he put Canelo in with Billy Joe Saunders in Houston, and they did that Dallas, and they did that huge crowd. Dallas, they did that huge crowd. And he thought, oh, this is great in America. Well, that was an anomaly.
Yeah, that was a one-off. That was an outlier, as they would say.
Right.
You mentioned Terence Crawford, and he's got like a whole truckload of options, and he's a free agent. Where do you think he's going to go, Rick? Because he could fight Virgil Ortiz. He could fight Tim Tszyu.
He's probably going to fight that Madrimov guy.
Madrimov, I was going to say.
Yeah, the 54-pound champ. Was it WBA? Probably going to fight him first.
The Uzbek.
Yep. I think so.
What do you think about that fight?
I don't think anybody beats Terence Crawford. So, maybe Canelo because he's so big and he's big and strong. But I don't think anybody beats Terence Crawford right now.
Not even a Virgil Ortiz?
No. Too experienced, this guy. He's got too many. He's left-handed. He's got too many tricks up his sleeve. Seriously. Really, really high IQ. I mean, really.
Yeah. We got a question for you, Rick, from my man, Profound Dreamer. He says he wants to know from you, do you have any insight on the Terence Crawford Turkey Al Sheikh negotiations?
I just know that they weren't really negotiations. They had negotiations is something that takes a period of time. When you get on one phone call and you make a deal, that's not a negotiation. That's what they call an agreeable situation. So do I know about the agreeable situation? Yes, a little bit. Just that happened. It was short and sweet, and they are interested in Terence and in his next fight.
Do you have any insight into like what ballpark they could be paying Terence Crawford? Like what?
Depends on who he's fighting and where the fight is and everything else. It's a range.
I got you. If they fight in Saudi, how much do you think a Madrimov fight is worth over there for Crawford?
20-25 million.
Okay, just for Terence. You're not talking about for bullfight, but just for Terence.
Correct.
Okay, fair enough. I know Canelo made a
Now,
lot of
do you
headlines.
see Eddie Hearn paying him that to fight?
Boots?
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Thank
not.
you.
That's
Thank
a
you.
lot of that's a lot of money.
Thank you.
So I like to see the fight. I think Boots and Terrence would be one of the best fights that you can make around that weight, but the dollars just aren't going to make sense, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is what it is.
And Crawford's also left 47. He's not going back.
I hear you. I was just kind of hopeful that maybe Eddie Hearn would overpay for that fight because he's overpaid for other fights. I know you're saying he's led the market better, but I was a little optimistic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know Canelo's made a lot of headlines this week because he's been saying that the Benavidez fight for him is a lose-lose situation because of the rehydration clause and criticism he will get. What have you made about his comments?
Who are you talking about? I mean,
Canelo said that basically the Day of Benavidez fight is a lose-lose situation for him because if he fights him with the rehydration clause, people are going to criticize him, and he just feels like no matter what circumstances he fights Benavidez under, he's not going to get any credit. So he's just going to do whatever he wants.
He should do whatever he wants. He's earned that, right?
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, he's 18 years. He's 18 years a professional fighter.
I'm glad you said that. Because I wanted to ask at what point does a fighter get to pick and choose what they want to do? Because I what's the criteria?
When you got two starters, when you got a net worth of $200 million, which supposedly he has, we'll start there.
Okay.
He's undisputed champion. He's been champion at 54, 60, 68, undisputed, won the belt at 75, lost another time at 75. He's got a couple $100 million. He's writing his own ticket.
Yeah. So I'm saying for all fighters, is it strictly just a money thing? Because like for example, Terence hasn't scaled as many weight classes as Canelo, but he's kind of in a similar situation with Boots, where people want to see that fight, and he's kind of big time in Boots the same way Canelo's big time.
Well, I don't agree with you. You just made a statement. Canelo won world titles at 54, 60, and 68, and in 75, but went back down to 68. Rinco won world titles at 135, 140, and was undisputed at 40 and undisputed at 47. I think it's pretty equal.
Okay, I hear you. But the point remains is that they're both kind of in the same situation where they've reached a certain level in their career. Like, is it what makes a fighter be able to pick and choose what they want to do? Because is it the same for everybody?
No, it's not the same for everybody because they have to be able to draw. They have to have been champion for a long time. Automatic first ballot Hall of Famer they'll be, which is Crawford and Canelo. In other words, I don't feel that the Charlos are that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't feel Spence was that way. So he was a one weight division champion, and he got his ass lit up.
Yeah. He's on Charlo?
Oh no, Spence.
Spence. Okay.
Charlo. He didn't even. He was so lame versus Canelo. He should be embarrassed for ripping everybody off, having him buy that on pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's sad the way he disgraced himself because he really was a very good 154 pounder, but to come in there and not even try to win was disgraceful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Does someone like a Naoya Inoue, does he get a chance to pick and choose whatever he wants to do?
Absolutely. Making the kind of money that he makes, 55,000 people going to do over $20 million gate. Yes, I think he does. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think he needs American boxing? Because everybody's, people have been up in arms about, I think it was Sean Porter that said he needs to come to America. What do you think? How do you see it?
So he can make 3 million over here, 4 million, and he can make fucking 15, 20 million over there.
Yeah.
Listen, I like Sean Porter. He was an excellent fighter. He understands the science of boxing. He should stay out of the fucking business of boxing. I'll leave it like that. And I like Sean. I got nothing against Sean. I like him. He's a good guy. He's good for boxing. He's high spirited. I like him. There's nothing wrong with him. But when he makes these statements about the business of boxing, let's separate the sport and the business. Inoue does not need America, guarantee.
I hear you. Do you think he should? Do you think he should still come to America at some point? Because
he's been here 3 times.
I know what you mean, but I'm saying maybe like in a bigger venue against a more high profile opponent.
No, because he can't. He's not going to do $20 million gates like he does over there.
Yeah.
And anybody wants to fight him will gladly go over there.
Get the passports ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like Top Rank. I mean, Top Rank does a great job promoting a lot of fighters, but I really feel like when they signed him in 2019, they should have been boxing him on the West Coast more and like the Asian American markets, and they never.
Well, you're forgetting something. They signed him. He walked into the pandemic.
No, I know.
And that was and he fought once in the pandemic over here with what was it, Maloney?
Maloney, yeah.
Right, and Maloney did as good as anybody did with him, and they were working with a big handicap. They signed him up in the pandemic hit, so you can't get mad at Top Rank for limiting how many times they brought him over here, but they made him good. They made him known amongst boxing fans here, and it raised his popularity up over there because of it.
Okay. Well,